I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation.
If I were a lot younger, I would marry you. And we would have chubby little freckle-faced kids.
It's hard to understand the level of human cruelty.
Drama is hardly unfamiliar to Hollywood. Jim Carrey appears to have mastered the art of calling out other celebs. But let's not forget that Carrey himself is no new to sensational headlines before we get into the details of his most recent argument with Will Smith. Jim Carrey just publicly called out none other than the Fresh Prince himself, Will Smith, in a twist that has many people scratching their head. The cause? While denying his own troubled past, Carrey accused Smith of orchestrating the Academy Awards Slapgate event. In a 2022 visit on CBS Mornings, Carrey expressed his thoughts about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in front of the world. In addition, he had some harsh comments for the Oscars audience's response to the circumstance. He said the following:
Sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse.
After Smith slapped Rock during the Oscar ceremony, Carrey claimed that Smith ought to have been led away. "I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous," Carrey said. "That insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and show disapproval or say something on Twitter, that's fine. But you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words." Carrey concluded the slap came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him. "That's frustrated. I wish him the best. I have nothing against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a shadow over everyone's shining moment last night. It was a selfish moment, ironically. This circumstance is a prime example of the proverbial pot calling the kettle black. Despite his polished public persona, Jim Carrey has been involved in his fair share of head-turning scandals, particularly during the Oscars. In his prime, Jim Carrey frequently ventured into the world of controversy with his hilarious antics, and the Oscars were no exception to his own brand of disruption. In 1995, he made a memorable red carpet appearance where he jokingly interrupted interviews while wearing shoes on his hands. Although his actions were dismissed as comedic eccentricity, they clearly interfered with the formality of the major event. And let's not forget the controversy surrounding Carrey's own private life. Details of Carrey's own troubled past emerged after his outburst against Smith. A video of Carrey kissing Silverstone at the 1997 MTV Movie Awards without her permission went viral on Twitter, sparking suspicions of Silverstone, who was only 20 at the time, was clearly distraught after the incident. She thought the kiss was embarrassing, according to The Independent, and Carrey later apologized to her backstage. And one would think that Jim Carrey, the seasoned comedian, would have mastered the delicate art of managing interviews with calm and grace given his successful 3-decade Hollywood career. Even the most seasoned professionals in the field occasionally make mistakes with their words. Enter the awkward encounter between Carrey and the gullible journalist Charlotte Long, which left us all with raised eyebrows and uncomfortable shivers down our spines. In a fatal encounter that took place in the year 2020, Jim Carrey sat down for an interview with Charlotte Long, a reporter for The Heat. Nobody anticipated that this encounter would develop into a laughable spectacle that would go down in Hollywood rumor history. Long, perhaps naively, brought up Carrey's bucket list as the talk veered off into the illustrious career and goals of the actor.
Film Sonic has a bucket list, and I was wondering, after all you've done in your career and in your life, is there anything still left on your bucket list?
Just you.
Then the actor advised the journalist to just own it, and the reporter quickly shifted the subject. Later, Carrey came under fire for making a comment that many thought was weird and improper. At the time, one fan wrote to Charlotte saying, "Such a huge fan of Jim Carrey, but lost respect for him today. This is really unacceptable. I wish and hope he apologizes to you, but you handled it really well. More power to you." Meanwhile, some fans defended Carrey's flirty remarks while other fans admitted they just saw it as a joke. One fan commented, "So obviously I'm one of the few that didn't see it as creepy. Just Jim Carrey making a joke. Yeah, maybe not the best one. Still, kudos Charlotte Long for laughing it off and carrying on professionally like a champ. In any case, what angered many people was how Jim responded to the uproar from fans. One of his reps spoke to Page 6 and described the incident as ridiculous. They said, "This is a ridiculous non-story." The full quote was, "Just you. That's it. I'm all done now." Jim was clearly referring to the interview as being on his bucket list and was in no way referring to the journalist herself. This is just another example of a clickbait headline pandering to scroll culture. However, this wasn't the actor's first instance of acting strangely toward a female journalist. When an E! reporter approached her during New York Fashion Week in 2017, Carrey continuously circled about him before bemoaning the pointlessness of the occasion, which he oddly described as the lowest aiming possibility.
Carrey, yes.
What?
I've covered a lot of fashion weeks. This is the first time I've run into Jim Carrey. Wait, tell me, is it true you're wandering this?
Jim has also been involved in some rather major court disputes. Jim Carrey, you see, is well known for being exceptionally transparent about his romantic life. Renée Zellweger, an Oscar winner, was one of his previous notable partners, and he once referred to her as his greatest love of my life. Carrey started dating Irish woman Catherina White in 2012. White was a relatively obscure makeup artist, in contrast to his previous high-profile partners, and with a 23-year age difference, they made an unusual couple. The tragic end to the relationship when White committed suicide in 2015. She was only 30. After White's passing, a lot of shady charges surfaced. According to The Guardian, White's ex-husband, Mark Burton, sued Carrey for wrongful death on the grounds that he gave White the medications that ultimately caused her death. According to Burton's lawsuit, Mr. Carrey took actions to hide and obscure his responsibility for Miss White's unfortunate and untimely death after she passed away. This was in reference to a text message Carrey sent White just before she passed away, asking him where his painkillers were. In addition, he charged that Carrey had maintained constant surveillance at White's house and was manipulative and oppressive toward her. The mother of White, Bridget Sweetman, then brought a second wrongful death claim. Evidently, Sweetman claimed that Carrey had given her daughter unmentionable sicknesses and had subjected her to mental AB. After the claims were ultimately dismissed, Carrey asserted in a countersuit that Burton and Sweetman had just been trying to coerce him into paying them money. In any case, as all these examples have demonstrated, Jim is in no position to criticize Will Smith. You see, Smith instantly put on the armor of humility after the infamous Oscars slap incident. He came out and apologized in front of everyone involved in the incident, including Chris Rock. It was a moment of accountability that revealed a degree of maturity that occasionally eludes even Hollywood's biggest names. He wrote, "Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. Apologies occasionally get missed in the din of Hollywood scandals and fights." However, Smith's move toward reconciliation reveals a side of his character that perhaps wasn't as apparent on the glamorous Oscar stage. Additionally, there were claims that Smith even went so far as to visit a therapist. Smith maintained a low profile following the tragedy and was last saw on April 23, 2022, in Mumbai, India, where a source claimed he was there to concentrate on spirituality, yoga, and meditation. Fans have, in any event, been outspoken about Carrey's hypocrisy in this whole situation. Jim Carrey be like, "I can force kiss someone, but Will Smith cannot slap a guy who made fun of a medical condition and his wife. Hollywood hypocrisy." One fan commented. A second fan added, "This is 100% racially motivated. Jim Carrey ate a woman live on stage, and she was visually distressed. Will Smith slaps a dude for mocking an illness and gets banned for a decade." Thanks for watching our video. Make sure to subscribe our channel for more celeb videos. Don't forget to like and comment. Also share it with friends and family.